Shall the charter of the city of Pueblo be amended to change the form of government from a council-manager government to a mayor-council government, and in connection therewith to eliminate the office of city manager and establish the office of mayor, in which all executive and administrative powers of the city shall be vested, to provide for election of the mayor by majority vote of the electors for 4-year terms, to provide for the mayor to devote his or her full time and attention to the duties of the office and prohibiting other paid employment, to create the office of deputy mayor, to fix a salary of the mayor at $12,500 per month, subject to change by ordinance, to require the city council to establish and adopt 5-year goals and 1-year objectives for the city, to be reviewed and revised annually by the city council, to give the city council the authority to hire the personnel necessary to enable the council to adequately perform its duties, to require city council to generally act by ordinance and to limit use of resolutions, to require the mayor prepare a written state of the city report annually, to give the mayor the power to appoint, subject to council confirmation, the city clerk, municipal judges, deputy mayor, and directors of all city departments, including police, fire, finance, personnel, purchasing, law, public works, parks and recreation, aviation, planning and community development, housing and citizen services, waste, water, storm water, transit, and information technology, to give the mayor the power to suspend and remove directors of all departments and bureaus of the city, to give the mayor the power to appoint, subject to council confirmation, all boards and commissions, and to remove members thereof except for the purpose of confirmation on appointments, to prohibit council from interfering in appointment or removal of directors, to prohibit council from interfering in appointment or removal of directors of bureaus or departments, city employees, and members of mayor-appointed boards and commissions. So the city council will have no decision in who they hire or fire, basically is what it's saying. So to give the mayor the power to veto ordinances passed by council, subject to override at the next meeting of council by affirmative vote of at least 5 members of the council, to provide for the mayor to prepare the city budget and submit same to council after adoption of the annual appropriation, to give the mayor the power to approve the allotments of appropriations for each department, office, and agency, and to transfer unencumbered appropriation balances among classes of expenditures within each department, office, and agency, to change notice requirements relating to personal injury claims against the city, to provide for a special runoff election for the office of mayor if no candidate for the office receives a majority of the votes cast, providing transition provisions, including a special election for the first mayor to be held on November 6, 2018 for an initial term of 5 years. So the first mayor gets 5 fucking years. What's the point of that? That doesn't make any sense, right? So not only can we not fire the chief executive in 30 days like we could do now, we're going to be stuck with this fucking guy for 5 years. And then it does make city council much, much, much weaker, since you can't fire the guy. But it also says here that you can't interfere or remove directors. So basically the fucking mayor is the tyrant. And, you know, that I'm not for sure. I think the city manager actually has very similar powers, you know, right now. But city council could say, no, we should have power in the decision making. We should be able to hire and fire people. I mean, the budget, I guess they don't even get the budget. Jesus Christ. For the mayor to prepare the city budget and submit same to council. So that means they don't get the budget, they don't get the hiring and firing power, they don't get police power, they get no power. They're a bunch of children. Strong mayor turns city council into a bunch of children. Why would you want to run if you're just going to be a child in the government? So here's the 10-page. So that is just what I just read to you is just the ballot language. This would just be the language that you will see on election day. Question 2A. There's 5 questions that I know of, 5 ballot questions, and this is one of those, the so-called strong, the strange mayor, because, this is a strange fucking circumstances, all these things. So that was the ballot language that I just read, and here is the charter. And the charter, God, maybe I should take some notes here. I'm going to just write down how many changes it is, right? So if you had an amendment and you just said, look, I want to change the city personnel to this or that, right? That's just one amendment. You're changing one law. But this thing is changing the form of government. This is an overhaul. This is an electoral coup d'etat. This is a skinny charter. They're doing a charter convention, without the people, and they're not even going to get you to ratify the brand new charter. This is the ratification. So if you go there, you are ratifying the new charter, and the charter actually eliminates charter conventions for here until ever. See, section 1.2 says that the government provided by this charter shall be known as the mayor-council government, shall not be changed except in accordance with the laws of the state of Colorado and provisions of this charter. Well, shit, before it says that you couldn't change it unless you had a charter convention. Now it says that you could do it by the state of Colorado and the provisions of this charter. So that pretty much guts the fucking charter, now doesn't it? That guts the charter. Why have a fucking charter if we're just going to listen to the state amendments? If we're just going to be an administrative unit of the state, we're not going to govern ourselves. So they gut out the charter convention requirement. They gutted it out because they don't want to go through the proper channels. They don't want to invite anybody else into these fucking conversations. They've already decided how they want to change the government, and they're going to impose it upon you. This has got the worst fucking decision since, Titanic or something. So this is going to be, I think this is going to be really damaging of epic proportions. This is going to make the elitist government even more elitist. And I just don't see it solving everything. More tyranny? No, we need more democracy, right? We don't have 50% of the people voting, so we don't need to get the small cabal group of people that's running shit now even more power. Anyways, all right. So I want to go through this, and I want to check out how many times did they amend it. Right? This is a skinny charter. This is, I don't even know if I want to call it a skinny charter because it's changing the executive and the legislative branches. The only thing it doesn't change is the judicial branch, which I don't even know if they could really touch the judicial branch anyways. So, the state provides the courts, and we get to decide the executive and the legislature, and they're changing the two things that we get to decide. So that's, that's almost like a brand new fucking charter. And with it being 10 pages worth of changes, this is a brand new charter. This is a brand new fucking charter. And, God is probably already a Frankenstein anyways, and now they're going to make it even more. So let's go through here. And I wanted to actually compare and contrast the proposed changes with the actual document, because what if there's some other shit that's, tucked in all these changes? What if all this has to do with, like, some tiny minor change about contracts or something, right? So one little tiny change about contracts, and they change the entire government just to help some corporation, a ladder corporation, or the steel plant, the Nazra or whatever, the Russian-owned steel plant. So the following within Article 1 should be amended, sections 1, 2, and 1.5e, right? So that's two sections right there. Sections 2.1, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5, and 2.6 shall be changed to read as follows. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections there. That's being changed. And, designation of offices, elective officers, qualifications, appointments, and boards and commissions, elected officers. A lot of words there. What are they changing? What the fuck is this new government that they're going to foist upon us? Any vacancy in the office of mayor shall be subject to Section 411. The following within Article 3 should be amended. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 changes. Right? And then what you see, maybe 7, depending on the 310C thing. Is that two different ones, or is that one? 310C. Okay, so 7 changes. So there's 7 other amendments, right? So that's already what? 7 plus 7, that's 14 amendments so far. Instead of having 14 amendments, let's just shove it down their fucking throats, right? We'll just call it strong mayor, but this is, we're changing the whole goddamn thing. And then it says Article 4 in its entirety shall read as following. So Article 4, all of it's been changed, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 sections, and then all these added, 6, let's see, 7, 11 sections. So there's 11 sections. I would assume they're all changed. I would assume it's just a simple change, right, from city manager to mayor, but I don't think so. So here's 5.1. So here's another one. 2 more sections of 6.3 and 6.4. And then look at the Article 7. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 changes in Article 7. Oh, that's just fucking with the budget, right? So who gets to control the budget? Not city council. City council isn't going to get the budget. City council's not going to have any decision to hire and fire people. The city council isn't going to be able to fire the chief executive. City council's not going to have any fucking power whatsoever. They're just going to be a bunch of props, right, for the mayor. You'll have strong mayor, and then you'll have a bunch of props for them to decorate the strong mayor with all around them. Did I count all these 7 sections? I don't know if I did. And that sucks, because that means I gotta change my thing. I just had 9. Was there 9 changes in section 6? No, I thought there was 9 changes in section 7. But here, I hear, the first introductory phase in 718, section 718E. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more changes on top of the 9 there for 7, section 7. God, they fucked up. 7 section 7 got fucked up, right? It's not even, man, you can't even recognize section 7, man. He got fucked up. And then they put all 32 things in there. The article 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 changes to section 8. 2 more sections to section 9. And what they do with the fire chief? Shall be in direct command of the Department of Fire. So the fire departments that give them more power for the fire department. Department of Police in its entirety. There's 3 sections there, so there's 3 more sections for the chief of police. What did they do with the police? They got the police gets more power, fire chief gets more power, city council gets nothing. And people are running for city council saying this is a good thing. Oh my God. Y'all didn't did y'all get political science? Y'all study any political science? Like, fuck. This is actually amazing. I am so shocked by this shit. This is a charter convention already concluded. This is what they've concluded. This is what they think will be best for us. They didn't ask us. There's a lot of people. I've talked to 2 other people that have ideas for a charter, but they didn't ask us, right? They don't give a fuck what we want. Which that's pretty apparent. So section 12.5, that's 1 section. Section 13.3 and 13.4, 2 more sections. Article 14. So the aviation. So the head shall be a director. Department shall be responsible for a function. So something about aviation. Department we're creating. Did we not have a Department of Aviation before? How's that different? And what the fuck are we changing that for? 17.2. Okay, there's another change. Article 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more fucking changes. God damn. Oh, and then it says, all article sections and parts not specifically changed herein shall remain part of the charter and unchanged. Well, what the fuck did they keep? This is 10 pages. This is a whole nother fucking constitution here. This is a brand new constitution on top of the constitution. So that's why I'm calling it a skinny charter. This is, and I wouldn't even, man, it's not even a skinny charter because it's 2/3 of the fucking, this is a fat charter. So that's a better fucking name for it, the fat charter. So this is the fat charter because it changes most of the government, but it's not a full-on fucking new charter. So fat charter, half charter, the half fat charter. The 2/3 changing fat charter. I don't know, I'll come up with something there, but let's add all these up. So we got 14 plus 11, 25 plus 12, 37 plus, let's see, 13 plus 5, so 18, 5, carry the 1, 55 plus 10, 65 plus 5, 70 changes, 70 separate amendments. That's kind of fucking nuts, ain't it? How many people are going to pick 70 changes, 70 different amendments? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? 70 fucking amendments? Do you want to vote on 70 amendments? I guarantee you, I don't know of anybody who's read this critically and actually really got into it and see, what are the pros and cons to it. How come we don't have like a congressional budget office that it basically can assess even the economic impact or something, anything. What will be the political impact of doing something like this? Jesus Christ. This is such a big slap in the face to the people. Hey, we're going to change your fucking government. Do you want to participate in it? Fuck you. Here, we're going to change the entire fucking form of government because we already got the one man that we want to run everything. And who is that one man? I was thinking it might have been Nick Gardasar, but I'm wondering if there's somebody else now, I guess it's hard to tell who. I mean, maybe let's give a benefit of the doubt, right? Yeah, they're just... I saw his arguments. Nick Gardasar said, we just need to change things, Let's do something different. Let's just do... And then 2009 is like, well, you failed 2009. Well, we still got the same problems. Do we got the same problems? We got the same fucking problems since 2009. We haven't changed. Nothing's got better since 2009. How many elections have we had? We've been voting on these politicians and voting on these ballot measures and nothing's got better? I find that hard to believe. I think Sam Azad's been running shit pretty tight ship for 5 years. It seems like a stable government to me. Water's still running. Internet works. There's peace. There's city government. There's public forums. There's open city council meetings that are videotaped, which is better than the county school system and the county government itself. The county commissioners do not record what they're doing, and they do not tell the public what they're doing in real time. So there's a lot of good things that Pueblo City is doing right. There's a lot of good things Pueblo City is doing right. Putting our hope in a Superman, which we don't even know who it's going to be. Putting our hope in a strange future Superman. Maybe Superman will save us. That's what we need, Superman. No, we don't need Superman. We need local control. The people needed power. We need more democratic reforms. We need more democracy.